I tested 33 floors for domino toppling, but which one is best? Let's find out. What's up, Domino community? I am on the hunt to find the perfect flooring for Domino's. As you might know, I am in the process of moving into a brand new Domino studio, and the most important part of it, of course, is the floor. You need to make sure the surface is suitable. It's a hard surface, that it looks good, that it's comfortable, and is going to set the canvas for your entire Domino project. So I did a ton of research. I went to a bunch of flooring stores, I got samples online, and together we have 33 flooring surfaces that we are going to test out with and see which one is best. Now, before I get into reviewing all the samples, I want you to take a look at all of the options and leave a comment down below. Which one would you choose? Maybe it'll be the same one that I choose. Maybe you have a different one that you like for a particular reason, but leave a comment down below. And now let's get into the video. I'm at Floor & Decor and I'm on a mission to find the perfect flooring for setting up Domino's. So let's go check it out. So with domino building, it's really important that the floor does not have any grout lines. Something like this, for example, like tile, not ideal. You don't want the dominoes to be like in the cracks. I'm looking for something that's perfectly smooth, perfectly level, and all the edges are flat edge. So they don't have any beveled edges. We want it to be nice, flat, flush. Ooh, at first glance, look at this. I really like that. At a closer glance, this does unfortunately have beveled edges. So if I place a domino on that, there's a chance that it could wobble, or if I slide something, it's gonna topple over. This is an automatic no, but I do really like the color. The other thing to think about is the type of flooring. This is a vinyl flooring, but I'm also looking at cork flooring and hardwood flooring. Although I can't do hardwood flooring because I'm renting the space, so I can't put in actual hardwood floors. There's all these different engineered types of floors, so we're gonna try to find the best option. Ooh, this is a nice color. I think when it comes to dominoes, the floor surface is like your canvas. Choosing the canvas and the color and the design of it, like how textured it might be, is essential. So the only thing I don't like about this is the floor is textured. If I look at it up close, like there's these little ridges inside of it, which I don't think will be a problem with building dominoes, but just personally, I think I would prefer something that's completely smooth. That'll be easier to like tape things on it. This one, I think it's trying to emulate more natural wood, but this has a lot more texture in it. That's not great for dominoes. Look at this. See, this is too dark. I mean, although it's like a really nice, like solid background color, maybe certain projects where you're using light domino colors, but for an overall project, I think I'm gonna go for a hue that's more in the middle. I like how light this wood color is, but I'm not a fan of all of these like wood dots. If you're making screen links especially, that's gonna be very noticeable. So in my gap year studio, I used cork flooring, and I really liked that material just because it was super soft, and when the dominoes fell on it, they wouldn't slide as much. So I'm gonna check out some of this cork flooring. What I like is that it looks hardwood. Previously, the other cork flooring, it was just like this weird brown, which texture-wise, it was amazing, like excellent for like toppling dominoes. But for the look of it, I didn't really like that. So I'm gonna try to see if I can combine the two with cork and the natural hardwood look. So this one would be my ideal choice, except unfortunately it does have beveled edges. So that in itself is a no for me. This one, like texture-wise, is great. Like when the dominoes fall on it, it's not going to slide. And it also has flat edges, so when you put them together, it's a perfect seam like this. You don't have any beveled edges. But of course, you know, the color is just, it's not quite there. I'm gonna take home some samples and we'll be able to compare all these floorings from different places and finally decide on the domino flooring. All right, that was a great trip. It's always fun to just look at flooring and see what's out there. What is my canvas? You know, there's so many different options. Very excited to just like break them down in detail and see which one is the best for dominoes. So So these are all of the Domino floor surfaces that I'm testing out. This first row is all cork flooring. I put the light shades over here. This second row is also cork flooring. We have different textures and different kind of patterns in the actual grain. The third row is also cork flooring, and the color is more of a natural cork. The fourth row is light colored flooring that looks like wood. They're not all actually wood, but it mimics what looks like a hardwood floor. This fifth row also is mimicking hardwood floors, but we have a little bit more of a darker hue in color. And in this final row, we have a bit of a unique option. These are actually dance floor material mats. So these roll out and they can be used to place on top of anything. And we also have marmoleum, which is a different material that also kind of lays flat. Now, in rating all of these floors, there are 4 main factors that I'm going to consider: color, texture, comfort, and price. So just off the bat, I'm going to eliminate a whole bunch of these based off of color. I'm gonna eliminate this one. This is probably my least favorite one. I feel like it's too distracting. I'm also going to take out this one because it's pretty similar. I also see some more really distracting ones, like for example, this one. I'm also gonna take out this one. Now I'm also gonna get rid of a couple that I think are a little bit too dark in shade. I'm gonna take this one out, and I'm also going to take out this one. So this is where it gets a little more difficult to choose between the floorings. I feel like at this point, I need to choose the type of flooring. Do I want cork flooring, or do I want something that looks more like a wood grain pattern? Thinking back to my gap year studio, texture-wise, I absolutely loved the cork flooring because it was soft, it gripped the dominoes, like they didn't slide pretty much at all, and it was just a really comfortable surface to build on. But when I look at all of these cork flooring options, I still don't feel like the color is right. Like the aesthetic of what the cork looks like, I still think it's too busy. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to get rid of all of these in our running. Now, when I look at the rest of these options, there's still a couple more that I would eliminate just because of the color. This one I actually think is still too dark, and I'm also going to take out this one. Unfortunately, I think it's just a little too dark. I'm also gonna get rid of this one. I think it's a little too gray. So let's take a look at these ones over here. I was on the phone with someone talking about flooring, and they recommended marmoleum, which I had never heard of. So I got a whole bunch of these samples, but I'm realizing like, I don't think it's gonna be like that comfortable. You probably need some sort of underlayment because there's nothing underneath it. And also I do prefer the wood look. We're gonna get rid of all of these marmoleum samples. Let's take a look at these dance rolls a little bit closer as well. These are called marley dance rolls. They are super good for dominoes. I've used these in the past for various types of projects, and they're really great because the dominoes don't slide on it. It's not reflective, like most of the time it's very matte, so it's good on camera. But the problem is you can't just put it on top of your floor. You have to get an underlayment. Although I really do like these dance roll mats, I think they're great. It's not exactly what I was looking for my specific studio. I felt like the black or the white just felt a little bit too professional in a way. I still want it to be feeling like you're in a house. I'm going to rule this one out. And when it comes to color, like looking at all these, my favorite is actually this one. This is a wood dance roll. The color was perfect. It seems a little bit more saturated than the rest of these, and it's comfortable because it already has this rubber backing on the outside of it. Now the problem with these is that unfortunately the installation method is a professional heat weld. Unfortunately, that was not something that I could do, so I had to say goodbye to this one. And finally, that leaves us with all of these wood-looking floors. So this is a vinyl plank. Just at first glance, like you'll see that this one is incredibly thin, and it's also really hard. I'm just thinking already, like sitting on this for a long period of time is not going to be comfortable. This one is also really lightly textured. Like if I run my finger across it, I can feel there's like small little bumps in this fake wood grain. I don't think that's great for building with dominoes. So we're gonna say goodbye to this vinyl plank. Now these are the same type of flooring. This is actually cork flooring, but it has a wood top. And I was really excited to see that they do make a product that has cork back, yet the top looks like it's wood. And this is really nice. It has a very good wood color. Although when I do run my hand across, it is quite textured. I really wanted to like these, but the texture of these is just not smooth enough for my liking. These could have been really great options. It's just the texture is not smooth. So gotta say goodbye to these. Now that leaves us with 3 more options. Off the bat, This one, I really wanted to like it, but it has beveled edges. I went all the way to the store specifically looking for this one, only to find out that it was beveled. You gotta say goodbye to this one. All right, we are now down to our final two. Color-wise, I really do like both, but if I did have to choose one, I think I'd have to go with this one just because it's a little bit lighter. +1 to the right side. Texture-wise, this is where it gets really interesting. This one is noticeably much more smooth. This one, it feels more like it's just raw, like wood, almost as if it needed to be sanded a little bit more. I think we really need to test out the Domino texture and the surface. I'll set up a little line here. So as I'm setting up these dominoes, there's like a feel to it. When you place a domino on a floor surface, you can sort of feel the impact of that domino, and you know, like based on that feedback of when this domino places the surface, it's like a good domino, like it's not going to fall. It feels really secure. And when I place a domino on this one versus on this one, I actually feel more confident on this left one. And I think it's because of the texture. And for that, I have to give a +1 to the left side. Comfort-wise, let's take a look at what each of these are made of. The top layer of the left side is genuine cork with hot coating. Top layer of the right side is real wood with hot coating. And that's very interesting. If you look at them on the side, you'll see there's a much thicker layer of cork on the top. And because of that, if I feel it, this one is actually softer. I think this one on the left is gonna be a little more comfortable. We're gonna give a +1 to the left side. And finally, we have price. The right one is actually a lot more expensive. So that's a +1 to the left side. So at the end of the day, I think it really comes down to texture. When I compare these two, I really strongly prefer the smooth texture compared to this more rough, kind of raw feeling of the wood. I think we have a winner. This is the winner. This is the Swiss Design Cork Floating Floor, American Red Oak. I am really excited to put this in the studio, see how it looks, get it all put together, and start building on this for real. This one is the winner. I will be putting together an entire video of the studio coming together and getting all set up with the flooring installed and leveled. If that's already up, you can click right here to go and watch it. Let me know what you think of this choice, and if you choose another one, tell me why. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on your favorite domino floor surface. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to our featured community member, Master LDH, who's been making some incredible domino videos. Seriously, go please check out their channel, subscribe, and as always, I'm Lily Hevish, and keep on building.